it up. There it goes. Hello? Hello? Okay, there we go. I guess I need to reset that every time. Oh, I might need to increase the sensitivity just a bit. Put that up. Okay. I think that looks all right. Okay. So, I played around with a couple of things today. The big thing is this cell pad and that it doesn't, the loop functionality doesn't act the way I needed it to. And I think that is because when it ends overlap, it's also removing stuff from the array. So like you go through the loop and it destroys the actor, that is ending the overlap and removing it from the array. So it doesn't quite have the functionality that I need it to. Also, I think the same tactic could work really well with my spawners, which I tested out. Um, I made all the shapes and put them into a data table in my research project, and I basically used the same functionality from the cell pad for the spawner. And that's where I kind of like figured out that this loop idea here doesn't work. But once I get the functionality for the cell pad, I can then use that for the spawners, and that's going to help. So the idea that I thought of was to kind of get rid of these guys altogether. It's still going to have the toggle focus. It's still going to have the interact. What I want to do instead is get overlapping actors for the cell collision. I don't think it necessarily needs to be the cell collision. Interact fully. No. No, I thought of something else in here. Pick up. Pick up. And then I want to do this functionality. So the for each loop is going to come out of this. And if the for each loop doesn't work here, my other idea is to build a custom loop. If this works, I won't need that, so I'm crossing my fingers. And then I can just plug the rest of this into that loop. Put that up here. Branch as an implement interface. If so, get the sell price, get the player ref. I'm not using the array or the total sell price at all. Okay, so I might funk with that just because I think adding to the total sell price and then running it through the complete at the end means that I'm not running this multiple times. But let me see if this does what I expect it to. Put that in. Put that in. Day. Yeah, no, I messed that up. That is not at all what I expected it to do. Because the target needs to go in there. Let's see. It still didn't get one of them, which is a problem. Because what I need it to do is destroy all of them at once. And I think what's happening is that once something leaves the array, something moves into the next index in its place. So the array is still populated. Okay. If no, not there. I don't want to do this. I need something that can repeat itself. Cell loop. So maybe for each if the actor does implement the shape data instead, add the element to the items to sell. and then branch if it is not empty, then get the sell price. Add to the total sell price. And then destroy actor. Sell loop. Start the sell loop. It doesn't need to destroy the actor. It does need to destroy that actor. Okay. Let's see. Broke. It broke. No, that's not gonna work. Destroy actor. This is gonna be a puzzle. Okay. Let's take this out for now. This is gonna be a puzzle. Like just the long version of making a for loop. So I don't think it's actually helping at all. Yes, I get it. Okay. Yeah, that went into an infinite loop and it never. It's still not. Maybe it is this. Let's see. Okay, the loop ended, which is good. Destroy actor. Doesn't like to destroy actor. Attempted to access. Is not valid. Pending kill or garbage. Didn't kill it though. Yeah. No. No. Okay. Just wanna wait. I just want to. I just want to delete everything right now. None of this is working. I'm just gonna do that. I need to break it down even smaller. Stop going so big. Just do the small steps. One. Okay. Five. 1, 2, 3, 4, Oh, because I did it again. So there would be. Um, unique. Three. That's correct. But like 6. If I take one out, it's still going to be 6. Yeah, it's still going to be 6. That's because it's not emptying the array yet. Clear. Print it and then clear it. One. 2. 1. Okay. So it is adding to an array. Say instead of this, get sell price. I wouldn't be able to clear it though. I wouldn't be able to clear it though. I wouldn't be able to remove value. I don't need to. Oh, yeah. I need to think. That's what I need to do. So, it's... Set. And then destroy. Then external. Maybe I put a second for each loop after it gets all the sell price to destroy all the actors inside. That's a possibility. Oop. 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 4. But it didn't. It did not destroy. And therein lies the problem. I need something that takes out all of the overlapping actors. I need something that destroys everything in that cone. Yes? 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 Here's. Okay. No, I think that I can put in a valid check here. Also, at the end of this, clear the array. And then Get player character. Get the player ref. Get verts. Add the total sell price to the current verts. Set verts. To the new verts. Get the HUD reference. Update the player wallet with the new verts. And then set the total price back to 0. Crossing my fingers. The errors? No errors? Let me test it again. Errors? No errors! Yes! 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 Okay. Okay. That is good. That is very good. So now I am going to get into something that is going to be a kind of tedious. Because I made shapes. I exported them. I forgot to set the smoothing groups, and I didn't cut the UVs for them yet. And I was thinking about it because I just did this today. I just did this today. So these are all of my shapes that I made today. And what's probably going to need to happen is I'm going to need to make it easier kind of in the long run, make it a little bit better so that I don't have to do this later, is to cut the UVs and re-export them now before I put them into my current project, which is going to be tedious. It is going to take some time. Hopefully it won't take too long, and then the next part is putting them all into a data table, which is also going to take some time. And really, there's gotta be a better way to lay these out. Just make this smaller, because it's supposed to be flat. It's supposed to be a flat circle, so that can be small. That's fine. Okay. So I'm basically going to come in here and replace everything that I've already made with cut UVs and with smoothing groups so it doesn't do that annoying thing where it gives me a warning. Yeah, this is where the more complicated shapes are going to be a lot more annoying. But like when you import something into Unreal Engine and you do not have the smoothing groups checked, then it just kind of screams, hey, you don't have any smoothing groups. Why don't you have any smoothing groups? So you have to click the little drop-down menu for the smoothing. Otherwise, it just gets unhappy. And cutting the UVs now is going to make it easier in the long run because I am going to want to texture these and to have textures on them. Ooh, look at your geometry. You are just kind of bad. But to have textures on them and importing them without cutting their UVs, I'm going to need to re-import them again. So this, I'm going to have to do this process anyway. It's just like, it's going to have to be tonight. It's going to have to be tonight, which is okay. Now, I just read before I got on stream news that it made me kind of upset. And that is one of my favorite Food Network people, Anne Burrell, passed away. And it hurts a little bit because she was one of my favorite Food Network people. And I'm gonna miss her. When I was playing World of Warcraft a long time ago, I made a character specifically because of something that she said in one of her cooking shows. She made a comment that a lemon was sexy. And I look at that sexy lemon. Oh, that's not bad. Look at you! Look at you! That's not bad at all. So because World of Warcraft names can't be like anything, you can't actually have the word sex in the name, I named my character Maxi Lemon. And she still exists on my World of Warcraft account, just on a server that I don't use. Yeah, I could deal with that. That could be okay. Cube. Cube is probably okay too. Object mode, select the cube, edit mode. Yeah, cube is fine. Cube will work fine. And probably the basic shapes. Yeah, the basic shapes are fine. But I do need to re-export the cube with the smoothing groups so that Unreal doesn't scream at me. Export the cube. Export the cylinder. You get to see all the shapes. Nah, that is too big. That is too big. That does not need to be that big. You know what was fun? Coming up with the names of all my shapes. Now, some of them have traditional names, but some of them don't. Some of them do not have traditional names. Okay, I'm going to need to cut this one. I don't want to cut you. And leave one flap. Cut it like a cylinder. Yeah. Yeah, that'll work. Dodecahedron. This is failure. Is what happens when you don't get a recipe right. I don't know what I want to do for this. Because it is kind of what happens when you don't get a recipe right. What if I just... Sure. Sure. Let me pack this a little bit better. Pack islands. I just want to give it just a little bit more. I don't want it to be right up to the edge because I don't really need that. Overwrite the Blender version. Oh! Okay, I see you. May cause loss of data. Let's save as. It's 10 o'clock. That's my 10 o'clock button. Yeah, I do want to export that. Failure. Hexagon. Node. You do need. Mark scene. On wrap. Up there. Yeah. And this is hexagon. No. 66 degrees. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. It's this thing about automatic wrapping. I like the control. I like that better. And this is a hexahedron. Some of these are the shapes that they are supposed to be. Yeah, that could be okay. That could be okay all by itself. Like the hyperboloid. Hyperboloid. Like the hyperboloid. Like this thing that has 26 sides. But some of them are, this sounds cool. I am not a shape nerd. I don't know what you're talking about. Whoa. Ah. This is isosceles hexahedron. This is a 28 shaped monstrosity. What happens? Eh? 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 Sure. Sure, I'm just gonna get a little bit smaller so it fits inside. Ah, yes. This is the goal shape. How I'm going to cut this monstrosity, I have no idea. Eh? I mean, to save time, I think that's gonna be my best bet. I mean, some of them I don't mind, like, it's not too much to kind of make the seams. But some of them are a little bit like that one. Technically, yes. You are technically correct. What if I put this at 90 and unwrap it? I mean, it's not awful. I don't know where the side went, but I really don't need the side. It's supposed to be a plane, but I wanted it to have like a little bit of thickness. Octagon. Octagon. I don't know if this is gonna. Eesh. Eesh, I am not a fan of that. That's a seam. And that's a seam. Why did it look awful? Why did it look terrible? Oh my god, why do you look terrible? What are you trying to make room for? I know why it's terrible. I know why it's awful. A object node. Here we go. Now I could probably even. What? What did you do? Stop that. Knock that off. Clear seam and then unwrap. Yeah. Yeah, that's much better. Octagonal pyramid. Check. There's a total of 29 shapes, by the way. Let's see how you look. Eh. It probably doesn't need this many seams. But yeah, that looks fine. Yeah. And you are octahedron. Octahedron. Hello, Oloid. Oh, you are just a treat, aren't you? Mm. Mm. I hate that. I hate that so much. I hate that so much. Can I just use that? That's all the way around. And then that's all the way around. And then so it's like this one long thing. Yeah. Cool. Pentagon. Yeah, you need Pentagon needs some work, but I think I can cut it at 90. Yeah, that's fine. What happens if I pack islands? No. No. Oh yeah, there's much more room up here. Okay, that's fine. Don't need to get picky, just need to get it done. Pentagon. Pentagon. And this just needs, that just needs to be cut there. Mark seam. Oh. Yeah. Pentagonal cupola. Pentagonal pentagrammic prism. Like this is probably not a scientific name. Not a geometry. Not a official geometric name. It's something that I made up. So do not come for me, geometry nerds. I have no defense. I'm just doing. And I am aware that my shape names are not accurate. But that's okay. I think I can cut this on the 90. No, it's not cutting the way I want it to. Mark seam. Work with me. Mark seam, and then mark a seam in there, and unwrap. Take these guys, make it big. Probably be rotated. Yeah, give it a little bit more space. And this one can be kind of small because it is present. That's not a good pack, but whatever. I want to move on. Yes. I want to get these things into my game. And yeah, okay. How do you... Oh, no, I hate that. I hate that so much. 80? No, not better. Closer. Closer. Okay, I think it just stops at 90. Yeah, it just stops at 90. Okay, so... seam. And like on the opposite side. Yeah, that's better. I think that these are cut These are cut. I mean, it's every single triangle has a cut in it. I'm not sure where this grouping is at, but that's okay. That's fine. I want to get through this because the next part isn't going to be any less tedious. I'm absolutely serious about that. Ugh, no. Yes. Yeah, the next part is going to be like the equivalent of paperwork. Perfect. I'm going to be setting up a data table. No. Acceptable. Export. This is a septagon. Or heptagon. This, oh god. You know what? You do you, Sphere. You do you. Weather. Sphere. Where's my square? Where's my square? Unwrap. Okay. What? Taurus. Yeah, where's my square? I must have turned it into a pentagon. Import FBX. Where? Yeah, that's good. And the triangle. Cool. Close that. Oh, nice shapes. Spell. I cannot spell. There is no saving me. Models. 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 All of you are going to go right in there. Do not import materials. I think. Yeah. N. That one looks a little wonky. I wonder if the hyperboloid was something that I left alone. Yeah, these little shadowy spots right there. Oh. If I have time to fix it, then I'll fix it, but I don't know if I will have time to fix it. But some of the other ones that looked like they were having issues when I tested them earlier, like I think it was the octagonal pyramid. It had the same kind of funky shadows as the hyperboloid. All the other ones look a lot better, so that's good. Now, I get to set up a data table. Maybe 29. Okay. Let me rename you. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. There it goes. 18. Clicking in a very particular way. Okay. Maybe I'll put here. Because I'm basically going to be transferring the data from what I have in my sketchbook into the data table. In this particular order. Semicircle is 2, 3. I don't know if I want to set up the cost and sell price right now. I think that's going to be something that once I get into the gameplay loop, I'll A-N-G-O-E. I cannot spell. 5. Okay. Where it's the numbers that I'm putting into the shape ID that is going to be key to my theory of trying to get these things into a mechanism that combines them. That is so. and spits out a failure if they're not combined in the right way. There's hexagon, hexagon. Don't do that. Don't do that. Septagon. And that doesn't have one, so that's going to be a 0. Some of these are rare chances. Like Decepticon is a rare chance. If you try to make a hexagon, there's a chance that it's going to come out as a Septagon. The thing about the Decepticon is that you can't use it for another recipe, but it'll have a decent sell price. Why does that look wrong? Octagon, there we go. Octagon. 9, 1, 3, 4. No. These have to be right. 9, 1, 3, 4. And decagon. Sphere. Nope. Nope. And you're going to need to create thumbnails for them. That's right. Pyramid. Pyramid. 40. No. 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 Yes. Gotta get the right one. Cube. 2, 7, 3, 6, 2. Cube. Image of cube. Cube, 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 small cube. Where's my cube? Engine basic shapes. Engine basic shapes. Where's my cube? Circle, cone, cylinder. Where is my cube? I know I made a cube. Cube. Import failed. Why? Why did my cube fail to import? Oh, it really doesn't like that cube. Okay. cube. That's fine. The unwrap is fine. Mesh this. Snow materials. Okay, it got the cube. Good. Good, 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 good. Um, Chorus 41064. Taurus. Yeah, then it gets into the funky things. Ellipsoid. Oh no, ellipsoid. So the funky ones, 2, 3, 4, 6. 6. Nope. Not what I want to do. I just want to put a space there. That's all that I want to do. I think that's going to come in handy when I get to the journal. Chiral. Cuboid. It's a pyrocuboid. Get the numbers right, or it's not gonna work. Okay. What is that? What's that? I'm trying to remember the names. Hexahedron. No. No, it's not those. It's something flatter. Pentagonal. Is this another one that didn't export right? It's not the dodecahedron, it's not the hexahedron, it's not the hyperboloid. Is that a 6 on top? No. No. Octagon. That's the this. Yeah, that's that. That's a pentagon. Okay. Okay. So it is there. This needs to have space in it. And then get the number 39296. That is ICO. Icosahexahedron. That icosahedron. Hexagon on top. Yeah. Yes, it is. Icosahedron. 51812. And this is octagonal pyramid. And 894. And this is that another ICO? I think it's the, no, that's not the octahedron. It's a different thing. Just have my spherical map. No. Octagonal pyramid. No. Hexahedron. That's the hexahedron. That is the hexahedron. Hexahedron. 40. And oh, that's a funky one. I think that's the octahedron. It's the octahedron. Octahedron. Oh, this needs to be, that needs to have a space in it. Yes. Octahedron is 11880. And this is the hologramic prism. 39524. This is the dodecahedron. Dodecahedron is 49120. Okay, and the last one are the super special. The ones that are going to end up making the end game. One is the hyperboloid. This is yes. That is hydro. pyramid 2. That is the and diplomatic prison 3. What did I do for that? That's for other. I could see. Took on 4. I have one more here than I should. I actually have I have 2 that I missed. Sure. I don't think that I duplicated any of them. When I got to testing, when I tested it, just go back to that. When I tested it, I ended up with 29, but it looks like I'm going to have 31 instead, and I don't know why that is. I have to double check. And it's the Oloid. 5. And 2 more. Okay. 31, and this is going to be the non-Euclidean. Can I just copy paste that? That's helpful. Yeah. Non-Euclidean trapezoidal hypericostereoctoloid. Lloyd. 6. And failure. Oh. Failed. Here. Yeah, I must have missed a couple when I was setting it up the first time. Because everything looks like it's here and it's not duplicated. Oh, okay. Now that the fun part's over. Oh my god. Okay. Just a little break. Save that. What? There are people outside. Anyway, so what I did when I was testing this out was I'm going to put a folder in here. Equipment. And I'm going to duplicate this and do basic minor. Dive into equipment, move here. Okay. So I need to get the pickup. I need to add another function to the shop data, which is get the shape ID. And that's going to pop out an int. And pop out an int. And on begin play, no, I guess it's in the construct. I guess it's in the construct. It's going to get the shape ID. So that when I put it into the basic combiner, I do use do I want to use beginning and end overlap? Yes. Yes. I do. I think I do. Well, I'm going to test it. And if not, I have it saved on my laptop so I can, if I can't remember, I'll go through it again. So if the other actor does implement the shape data interface, and has tag. Can I set this? Add gameplay tag, remove gameplay tag, append. I think that was something actor set tags. Get tags. Add. So I can on the construction script add tags. So I'm gonna add that to my structure because I think that is going to help. Is that a name? Is that a name? Yeah, that's a name already. So That'll be a name. So in my shape data, right now I'm just going to do this for basic 2D. Okay, basic 2D. And this will be complex 2D. The basic 3D. Complex 3D. Actually, I need to this. This is rare 2D. Okay. Complex 3D. These might not need to have tags, but couldn't hurt. No, that is rare 3D. And is the hyperboloid rare? Yeah, the hyperboloid is rare. This will have the tag goal and fail. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay. We have that added to these struts. So in the combiner, this needs to have the tag basic 2D. Okay. So if it has yeah, the combined shape ID starts at 0. So if it has those two things, then I need to get, I'm gonna get the shape ID. And I want to add it. Yeah, I want to add it to the combined shape ID. And I think that's it. I don't need to do anything else. Take this. No, not component. Not component. And then I want to, instead I want to subtract. This could be another instance where I want to do it on the interact. Yeah, I might just want to duplicate that. Because I feel like it's going to run into the same problem that I was trying to set it before, where I try to destroy the actor, it does the end overlap, which will end up deleting from the shape ID. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to get the overlapping actors. I want to, does it implement interface and has the basic 2D tag. Yeah, I might be overthinking and overcomplicating it with the whole overlap. Yeah. If it has shape data and the basic 2D tag, then it's going to get the shape ID and add it to the combined shape ID and set the shape ID, and I'm just going to rename this to items to combine. And then once it loops it and it puts it into this array, it's going to delay, then it's going to loop through that array, and if it's valid, it's going to destroy the actor and then clear the array. And then I want it to, instead of doing this, because that's not what it's going to do. Actually, it is going to do that. It is going to do that. Set that to 0. But before it sets it to 0, I need to use that shape ID. Shape. Shape ID. It's an integer. So that is going to go into string to a switch on string. And then thinking steps ahead, it needs one of these. Because the object needs to know where it needs to spawn. And for the default, it is always going to spawn a failure. So I want the row name for that. I'm going to take this and I'm going to make it the row name is a name, and the default row name is going to be 0, which is good. the default is going to set the row name to 31, I think it was. 31 is the fifth experiment. Cool. And then it'll spawn the actor of class at spell world at the location. And when I tested it earlier, the shapes were pretty big, so I'm going to make them smaller. Okay. I think I ended up making it a function. It might not need to be a function. I mean, a function would be better. I'll set it up here and I'll make it a function so that it doesn't take up so much space. But for this, the basic shapes need to be combined into the complex 2D shapes. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Circle. Oh. Don't actually put their names in there. That's not what this is for. 46. 4912. 690. Okay, so I can delete one because one is going to be rare. Oh, not delete them all. There we go. Where's the delete? And 924. Okay. So these are going to correspond with specific rows. Yeah, just because it'll look cleaner if I collapse it into a function. Shape picker. It doesn't. I don't know. Name. Oh no, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. Never mind. Never mind. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because then that'll set it, and then it'll spawn an actor. And then line shape. Lay that so it doesn't. So cross my fingers. And I deleted that. Put it here. Hi guys. Okay, I think I need to adjust the shape size in this. I am so laggy. Like, it's not good. Yeah, I need to adjust the shape size on this because these are huge. Okay. Okay, enough of that. This is why I'm going for the scalability. And when this spawns, which is not this, I need the widget, this one. Nope, I need the item dispenser. Okay. Hmm. And it left one. Oh no, it left both of them. No errors. It should destroy them, even if it does spit out a failure. Hello. Hello, Afterlife. It is time for the debugging. It is time for the debugging. That should have still worked, even without the and. Shape ID. Add unique. Oh, coming out the wrong thing. Okay, it made a failure. It didn't print anything. It didn't print anything. That's odd. it's going through this. So something could be the tags. Yeah, failed. So it's not adding it to the array, so it's not deleting it from this thing, and it's pumping out a 0 for combined shape, so it's pumping out a failure. I'm going to just try it with the shape data, and then I'll go back and see if I need to add the tag at begin play instead of on construct. Because whether or not they have the basic 2D tag, they would still have the failure. But it printed out numbers, which is good. So it might need to be, I don't understand why the sell price would work on construct, but the other one would not. I didn't add the tag. That would help. That would help. That's in the shape ID. That's in the sell price. And then that's not connected. Did I miss that? $23 and $46. I don't think I set up the numbers, but it's working. It's working. I need to set up the function, but it's working. Yeah, I didn't set up the function for this. Okay, so I'm going to pull up my data table again. Love the data table. Love the data table. All glory to the data table. Okay, so in the combiner, I want circle is 4, pentagon is 5, hexagon is 6, skipping over septagon for a minute, octagon is 8, decagon is 9. So if I'm trying to make a 6, it's going to come out here, but random bool? I don't think so. Random integer in range. So say this is 2. And come off here and make a branch. And if this number is equal to 2, Because that'll be a third of the time. That'll be a third of the time that you might get a septic on. Let's do it a quarter of the time. Do it a quarter of the time. And that will be set the row name to 7 instead. I want this reversed. I want this to be true. I want this to be false. Where if it is equal to 3, the number doesn't matter, it just has to be one of the 4 numbers, and it'll be 25%. But if it is the one number, then it'll spit out. If it is one of the other 3 numbers, then it'll set it as a 6. And I get a circle. And I get a number circle. Why does it keep popping out circles? And why are they going straight to that thing? Does it have a collider? Does that have a collider? Block all dynamic. So it should block all dynamic. Say I put that. Say I put that here. And just make it block all dynamic. And the shape could hover over the plate and not get stuck on it. Yes. Has tag basic 2D. We'll try to put this back and see if that works. Because I'm gonna need to use this to get into to basically duplicate the code and put it in more complex shapes. Oh. Yeah. I know what it's doing. It is taking the shape ID of the shape, destroying it, and putting it back, basically. Maybe I put a cooldown on it? Maybe I put a 5-second cooldown on it. And because it's taking that ID, it's reading it and it's spitting out a circle again, and that's not helpful when I'm trying to pick it up. Yeah. Whee! See if I can make some of the other shapes. Triangle and a square. Makes a pentagon. I don't think I set up the sell price yet. It's way more than it should be. But all of this should work now. So I would need to make the complex ones. That makes a pentagon, that makes a pentagon. That makes a hexagon is 2 triangles. Makes a hexagon. I wonder if I should try making like a couple hexagons. See if I can get the Decepticon to trigger. That is a hexagon. That is a hexagon. The fact that it's not coming up with Septicons, I actually kind of like. More of a surprise. Okay, I couldn't get it to trigger. That's okay. That's okay. I feel like this is good progress. So I want to make the basic 3D column. And that's essentially the same thing, except the shape picker is going to be changed. So starting at the torus. No, starting at the sphere. And I'm not into the complex shapes yet. 5940. 6. 2 7 3 6 2 and 3, 9, 1. So I have the sphere, I have the pyramid, I have the cylinder, I have the cube, and I have the cone. And the cylinder is going to be the rare one. The cylinder is going to spit out the hyperboloid. I closed my structure. I shouldn't have, my data table. I shouldn't have done that. Come back, data table. All glory to the data table. Okay, so sphere is 10, 11. The cylinder is 12. I'm just going to leave it at that for now. The hyperboloid is 25. And plug that in. And then after cylinder, it is cube. And cone. 14. Save. And these are gonna have like proper models and stuff someday. Okay, so let's try. I'm gonna try to make a sphere. So 1, 2. How many do I need for a sphere? I need 2 semicircles per circle, and I need 2 circles per sphere. Oh, no. No, don't do that. It did not like that. I need to change. I know what I need to change. I know what I need to change. Complex 2D. Try that again. Come on. Gimme. Ugh. What happened there? What happened there? What bug was that? Why did it fall through it? Okay, that one's not on top of it. And it makes a sphere! Fantastic. Why did it do that? Why did it do that? There's something that I should add here. No. There's a thing for that. If it is not, if it is not empty, then run this. If it's not empty, then run it. And I need to put that in the other one too. If not, yeah, if it's not empty, run it. Okay. I think that should work. I think that should be okay. That way you don't just go up to container and get a failed experiment. Can that happen? Okay. Let's test the pyramid. What do you do for the pyramid? The pyramid is 4 triangles. Oh. A pyramid is made up of basic 2D shapes. A pyramid is made up of basic 2D shapes. So I might need to include the 2D in with that. Yeah, because like a square is a bunch of squares. Okay. Okay. Basically, the sphere is the only one that doesn't take any additional basic shapes. The cone does. The cone does. Okay. So come in here, add a pin. No, this is delete the pen. Delete the pen. Remove pen. Send this. No. Send this to an or. This. Organize it. Send this to an or and put it into the and. Okay. Now let's try 1, 2, 3, 4, and a square. That made a failed experiment. Okay, let me make sure that I put the right number in. Five nine 40. Let's make sure that I calculated the math right, which is 354 times 4 plus 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I didn't calculate the math right, which, to be fair, my phone was being used by my daughter, so I did it by hand, and dyslexia can really bite you in the ass. But somehow I passed math. Okay, let's try that. One square. Check. Triangle. 2 triangles. It did add the numbers together, so that's a good sign. 3 triangles. And triangle number 4. And I get a cube. Huzzah! Okay, so last is, yeah, because there was only one rare thing there. So last is a complex. Duplicate. This is going to be complex 3D combiner. Pull it out, put it there, and open it up. Okay, so let me check to see if any of my complex shapes require any basic shapes. One requires a complex 2D shape. So it needs all 3, which is fine. One needs complex shapes. Okay. It needs all three, which I can work with. Pin, 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 pin. Okay, so finish that. I shouldn't need anything else. This isn't. But it spit out. Huh? But it was successful. It was successful. It spit out a... Oh, I was trying to build a pyramid, not a cube. But it didn't go to the default. Which one was the cube? Huh. Well, I'll have to... Somehow I passed maths. Can't do this, so... I'll make it. I'll make it eventually. 41064. Okay. I'm in the right one? I am not in the right one. Let's see. Why did it spit out? Think about it later. Do this now, think about it later. 41064. 2, 3, 4, 6. Six, 3, 2. 5, 1, 8, 1, 2. 1, 1, 8, 9, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's it. Oh, and one more for the ultimate. Maybe the ultimate should have a different machine. No! Let's not do that. Maybe the ultimate could have its own machine. I think the ultimate should have its own machine. I think. Yes. Okay, so 11894 4140 11880 39 524. Do these need brakes? That's something I didn't think about. And that could be why it did a cube. 49120. 49120. Because cube was the next one after that. Yeah. Okay. So the Taurus has a rare. Move you down. Okay, so the Taurus. This will hook up into the Taurus. And if this is true, then it's going to spit out the oloid, which is 29, and if it's false, it's going to spit out the torus, which is 15. Maybe I add a return. Maybe if I add a return at the end of the set. So like no matter what, it's going to hit the return. Okay, so the torus has a rare. The next one is the conal elliptoid, which does not have a rare. 16. And the pentagonal 17. Does that one have a rare? No. No, because that's the octahedron, that's the polygrammic prism, and that's the dodecahedron. That is 18. My numbers are messed up. Hold on. That is a torus. That is the torus, and the torus is 15. Conal epiploid, yeah, and conal epiploid is 16. Pyrocuboid, yeah, pyrocuboid is 18. Ah. Pentagonal cupola. Pentagonal cupola is 18. Which, that is the wrong number for that. That is why. Pentagonal cupola 39296. Oh, I messed up another one. And 296. I do. That's right. That's right. I might be overtired. That's right. I put it in the wrong one. Three 9296. 39296 is 18. It's 19. Okay. And this one switched 22. Did it? After 518, it was 11894. 4140. 11880. 3952449 120. I must have skipped one. I must have. Okay. 20. Go down. 21. 22. Do one thing at a time. If I'm that tired, do one thing at a time. And that's it for the complex 3D. Okay. So my rares. I got the cylinder. I got the Taurus. So it's just the 3, and I think those are the ones at the end. This one, this one, this one. So that'll make it a little bit easier. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so if it is 22, it's the octahedron, the pyramid, so it gets 26. If it is 23, which is the polygrammic prism, it could be a pentagrammatic prism at 27. And if it is 24, which is a dodecahedron, it's going to turn into the isosceles octagon. I did not spell that right. Which is 28. And let me respell that. Isosceles octagon. And I'm just going to attach all of these to a return node. stop that. Because I don't think it's breaking. And I would prefer it to break. God, that looks ugly. It's okay. It's okay, nobody's gonna look at the code. Okay, so I just need to, I don't want to duplicate that because that's got a lot of stuff in it, and I'm gonna have to delete their combiner. So this only needs one, and it is rare. The rare 3D. And this doesn't need a shape picker. Plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 is 15. As long as I don't have another shape ID that is 15, and I don't, that should work out just fine. Shape ID is equal to 15. Then the row name is 30. And if not, it is 31. Sure, that's right. It doesn't need the shape picker function. Okay, but I can't fully test this. Actually, I kind of can. I kind of can. If I bonk these a little bit. For this, if I take out the condition for testing and just do that. So that would make That's a cylinder, so that would make cycloid, hyperboloid. And that makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'm going to try to make the ultimate shape. The ultimate shape of infinite shaptitude. And then once I have that all set, then I can start working on the menu, which should be good. Because I need a menu and I need a journal. You should be able to pull those together, not too bad. Okay, so what are... I'm gonna pick... Wee! I'm gonna get some money. Oh, that's gone. Bye! Okay. Okay, so first is a cylinder, which needs 2 circles and a square. This needs square. It ate my circle. You shouldn't do that. So that means my branch at the beginning isn't functioning appropriately. It did it again. I don't like that bug. That is not a good bug. Why did it do that? Why does it do that? Okay. That's 1 circle. Now, if you could just not eat my other circles, I would appreciate that. What's up with that? Something to do with the collider? It's a feature, not a bug. You're a mad scientist. Your equipment doesn't work so well. And sometimes your semicircles fling you. Wee! That's not supposed to do that. That's really not supposed to do that. You shouldn't be able to ride your shapes. That was part of the whole thing I did yesterday. Oh my god! Okay, now it's not working. I need to delete my arms. I don't want arms. Whoa. Where did you come from? Get the fuck out of here. Okay, I have a circle. I have a failed experiment. Shit. You know what? It's late. It's late. I'll probably need to double check the math. That was this one. That was that one. 3D combiner. Hello. Hello, Midi. Midi. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly. That should have been a cylinder. 10266. So semicircles is 23 times 4. I'm good. How are you? I'm tired. Not this for a little bit. Okay, so 4 semicircles and a square. Which, now that I'm looking at that, if it 1 square or 2, it needs 2 squares. That's why it failed. My own game is owning me. Plus 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, plus 4, 5, 6, 7 equals, and that is not the right number anyway. So let's do 9226. So this is 926, which means a number of my calculations are going to be off. So I think that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. Let's see, where's the cylinder? There it is. That's what I'm going to do tomorrow, is I'm going to get it to the point where I can spawn the ultimate shape. And then in my downtime tomorrow, I'll figure out how to set up the menu and then double check my math and my numbers and come back to this, because I think I fucked up the math by doing it by hand. I worried about that. I thought that might be a problem. Anyway, but this is good. I have one of the things that I was kind of worried about as far as the coding is how am I going to combine the shapes together? And now it's just what is up with it falling through the collider. I do not want that. I do not want it to fall through the collider. And maybe it's just, you know, we take the shape. It was like circle. Let me look at this collision. Simple collision. It looks like the simple collision is the complex collision. Oh no, it's not. Maybe I add a bigger, thicker collision. Just like a little bit. That could help the issue. But yeah, I am tired. I've been at this for like 3 hours, plus the time that I put in today making the shapes and kind of setting up the other functionality. So I'm going to call it here, and I will pick it back up tomorrow, where hopefully I can get the shape issues all fixed and get the menu at least started. I know I can at least get the menu started, because I think the menu in the journal is going to be like the same thing, like part of the same interface, like a book on a table. So yeah, I think this is good progress. So I'm gonna sign off. I hope you have a good night. I will see you tomorrow.